Alright guys, welcome back to another recap. Today is going to be a good recap because I'm going to show you guys how I keep digging myself out of red holes. Now, of course, I wish I didn't dig myself into a red hole, but I did it again yesterday and today. Both, I was down over $1,000 on the day and was able to come back all the way to a $800 day yesterday. And right now, I was just scalping this again, and I'm sitting at $700 green on the day, which is still a decent day. You know, my average is 900 to 1,000 this year, so being 800 yesterday and 700 today for being a red to green days is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to take this $700 off the table unless this 180 level on Tesla comes down again. So I actually didn't trade this whole day. Like I traded most of today, but I think somewhere around here I stopped trading, and then I had an alert right over 180, and I'm going to show you guys my trades anyways up here in the 180 range, and I had an alert right here at 180. So when my alert shut up on my phone, I was like, this break of 180 is coming. So on the day, like I said, $706. Yesterday was the same thing, red to green, $800. Good comebacks, but I'm going to show you guys how to trade the chop. So first of all, I'll go over the morning trade. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put another alert down here. If this thing wants to go back down and break that 180 for like the 700th time today, then I hopefully can catch that. I was actually recording somewhere around here, and then or somewhere around here, and then it ended up going back down there, and I tried it again, so got a little bit chopped up. Oh frick. Anyways, how to trade the chop. Well, let me go over the trade. What happened? Do you guys see this? Where did it? Hold on. That had never happened to me, where I legit actually lost the whole chart. Alright, so this morning we also had news this morning, so I thought maybe the opening range was going to be pretty choppy. I had a couple levels marked. I actually had this one pre-market marked and then this one pre-market marked. And you guys, I mean, I stream completely free. I give out these levels in the morning. I don't know how, but spot on. I've been able to catch these trades perfectly, or not catch the trades perfectly, but catch the actual resistance supports. So I had this 186.05 drawn here. It looked like it tried going over, rejected. I hadn't taken any trades up here. I actually missed all of this down move too, because JP was supposed to talk this morning 30 minutes after open, so I thought it would do kind of what it did yesterday, which was literally just chopped around for the first 30 minutes, and then by the time 9 a.m. hit, it actually moved. And so I wasn't thinking for Tesla to open up and sell off out of the gates like that. It went down to my resistance, my support there, ended up kind of bouncing there. Didn't catch that. I tried actually catching a couple bounces a little early, which I should have known. My level's down there. I should have waited for my level, but I ended up catching it a little early, so I took my first red trade for like $200 loss or something like that. After that, this thing popped up. As soon as this thing tried pulling back, I would have expected the next move to VWAP, but because this candle pushed up and instantly rejected when green to red, that's when I added short, and this was a nice short. I think I added somewhere through here, looked for the low of day. I hesitated adding on this pullback there, but you could see it still ran down lower, but I was able to get this trade mostly all the way down, and you guys will see me do that a lot, where I got two options. The stock can only go up, the stock can only go down. I'm going to wait to see how it reacts in either direction. If it wants to go up, great. I mean, maybe I can chase it, maybe I can catch pullback. If it wants to go up and doesn't go up, then I'm going to go ahead and follow it down. And that happened a lot of the times today. So I'm going to show you guys, for example, that one, a lot of examples. And that's how I'm shedding the chop. But then also, I'm going to show you guys a little bit different thing. When it is super choppy, how I'm being able to dig myself out of those red days. So here, tried pushing up, didn't add it there, should have gone a little bit lower. And then here, same thing here. This thing tried pushing up, nice little candles there, even though the volume died as this thing still pushed up. My goal here would be to reclaim these levels. There's a couple wicks there and then that wick there, so we try to go back up to VWAP, but then you know what, it gets stuffed, and then this candle increased volume. Now at this point, I was up $500 on the day, and I knew 180. Psychological numbers, whole numbers, yes, obviously are always going to be important, but especially with Tesla, in these bigger stocks, I would say the tens, the fives, and those are going to be even more important than the whole dollars. Yeah, 179 is going to be a good number, but I think 180, 185, and 190 are going to be a little bit more respected than the other ones. And so from 190 yesterday to 180 today, I was looking for this thing to sell off through that 180 and catch a very nice drop. If it's one of those stocks, one of those days where that resistance and that support is all at 180, then this thing could have easily dropped a share after 180. Could have gone straight down to 179. So I prepared myself here again. I added short a couple of times here. I was in heavy, and then this thing went straight down to 180. And I was trying to hold as much shares as possible. You guys can check out my live trading videos as well. So every single trade that I take is completely recorded. So I tried adding and holding for this 180 break, and then boom, slams right back in my face. And so I took a loss at that point. And then, topping wicks, could not get up, you see. Here, if we didn't reject 180, then I'm looking for the move back up to the top side. Sometimes it's not going to work, and this is exactly what happened. This kind of just tricked me. But, topping wick, and then boom, this red candle right here just slams right back down. Tried pushing up. The first time it closes strong, Tesla immediately goes right back down. So then I added shorts again, added short. Looking again for that 180 break, could not get it. Didn't even come exactly to the penny in 180. This time it hit whatever this was, 180.08. So by 8 cents, there was buyers and bidders standing down there. And so again, I was holding the majority of the size on this one to get the break of 180, and then it went against me again. Now, when it went against me on both of these times, I was able to cut these trades pretty fast if I remember. So you guys can go back and look at my live trading video, because I'm pretty sure I was still green after this. This is the trade that put me in the red, but I'm pretty sure I was still green. And then the same thing, this thing is consolidating up here, rejecting this level, and kind of going between 180 to this right here, right? So chopping around. This thing had a little trend line right there, going strong, accelerating volume here, sells off, closes strong. I start adding, and I think on this one I kind of chased it lower and I played it pretty aggressive, because this is, we already rejected 181s. We already tried going for it twice. This would be the third time going to 180, and at this one I thought, this is it. I'm still green on the day. I've had good trades the last couple days. I haven't had a red trade all month. I was like, let's step it up here. Let me chase this a little bit, big size. Try to play it. It's the third attempt to break 180. I'm going to take a risk on this trade, and I'm going to take the risk, and I'm going to see if it pays out. I'm in this trade, 1,500 shares, 2K shares, breaks 180, goes down to 179. That right there is, boom, $1,500, 2K trade, right? But, this thing goes down, and then I don't know how, but it just instantly bounced, just ripped back up. And at this point, I think it was here actually, so I might have skipped a little one. But whenever I told you guys on stream and somebody pointed out, you were like, well, didn't break 180, so if it's not going down, it's going to go up, right? So this didn't break 180. There, I stopped out real quick. As soon as this thing ripped back up, I took a quick long here and then followed this candle back up. So I was able to take a loss real quick and then get my loss right back, because didn't break 180. Okay, we're not going to break 180. Let's go back up. Kind of same thing here, right? Try to go on 180. Didn't break 180. Reverses. First candle making you high. You might be able to get a few trades here through the break of this candle and maybe back up to that same level, right here. And I think this is the loss that took it out of me. I think this is the one that I went from like $200, $300 green to like a negative 1K on the day. Again, just like yesterday. I knew the risk that I was taking. I played it. I thought I had it. Didn't work out. I stayed calm. I stayed controlling my emotions. But now, how do we trade the chop? Because at this point, I ended up maybe getting a little money back through here. These are just scalps. I'm seeing the same flat top here. So this tries to go, tucks back in underneath, tries to go, tucks back underneath, and I was able to shave off like another $300, $400 here. So I called off the stream when I was down $699. And Juan, how did you go from negative 699 to positive 700? And when it's choppy like this, as easy as it sounds, just draw trend lines and draw your horizontal levels and draw your, whatever key level you think it is, trend lines, break up trend lines, retest. It's just, it literally is that easy, but you have to be patient to get that trade, and you almost have to anticipate reversals all the time. And that's kind of what I've been doing, unless it's a kind of like this where I'm anticipating the break but doesn't, and then I'm chasing it to the top side, breaks but doesn't, and then I'm chasing it to the top side. That's great. But most of these were actually reversals and just taking the risk and the anticipation of catching it on the way down. And this feels uncomfortable when you first try it, because I know a lot of you guys don't want to buy the stock when it's so being down, and you guys don't want to short the stock when it's so extended. But that's almost the best places you can get the trades. And what do I mean by that, right? So I have this little pennant, and this is one that I was following for a while, right here. So started shorting, I mean not shorting, started rejecting. And so I see this trying to falls breakout stuff back down. So when this candle just rips right here, but you see that low volume, on that candle, that's one that I'm like, you know what, it's at view up, it's at trend line, it's a low volume rip. This is maybe just, it's just the stock moving itself, And so, you know what, as soon as this starts going up to the top of that trend line, I hit the short, and then boom, catch the move back down. Here it didn't quite get to my trend line, so no trades there, even though kind of reversed. But same thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles in a row. Volume not really increasing. As soon as it looks like it's breaking out, and this is the when you get the highest fills, as soon as it looks to be breaking out of this pennant, boom, short it, right? And then you could see, if it breaks out, you take a quick stop, because that could have happened here, right? Breaks out here, and then I quickly stop out. But here I would have nailed 1, 2, and then same thing for the bottom. 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles. Not necessarily that I'm following a certain number of candles, but that's 3 red candles. Obviously, the more it's like, okay, well, you've already made a 6, 7, 8 candle move. Likely, if you're reversing, or strong. But same thing here. It looks like it wants to go for that 180. You know what? Take that reversal at that trend line. Boom. Buy this low as possible. As soon as that candle is red, closing strong. You take that leap of faith there. You anticipate that reversal. You get the lowest fill possible, and then boom, just reverses, right? Now, I'm pretty sure I did take this one, because I remember I took the trade, broke out, took a small loss, and then, I was like, okay, now that I break this trend line, that I'm kind of like short, let's go the other way, right? Now that we broke this trend line, let's go for the long. So as soon as this thing pulled back, now I'm looking at this trend line here, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna take the dip, right? So I take the dip here, I buy it, rips through view up, awesome. Pulls kind of back down, and got a new trend line going here, right there, take another stab there, holding view up, holding trend line, boom, gets another rep. And then I do remember also catching this one, because these were some of the bigger trades that I got that really helped me. And you guys, I'm not taking these trades with 1500 shares, right? I'm scalping these with 500, so taking small wins, but they're adding up. And now that we broke this trend line here, I was going the other way, right? So now back to shorting the pop. So as soon as this thing tries to boom, 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 I got this move here. And then again, let it cool off, let it try to catch a bounce, let it come back up to that trend line. Again, as soon as it looks like it wants to break out, that's when I'm shorting. Caught this move down again, And so I did that, quite a while. Same thing here, you got a little bit more of a rejection right there. Tries to go, you short it. Yeah, it kind of bounced there, but then again, breaks trend line, closes strong, gets on the other side, and there's your dip, Then you catch that dip there, and then you follow it too. Now today, I guess, kind of worked a little perfect for all these things to be super clean, but but yeah, I mean, that's just how I was doing. And then again, you adjust your trend lines, and that's the hard thing. You're gonna be adjusting trend lines nonstop. But here's what I was looking at then afterwards: a bigger kind of pennant. Finally breaks out, tries to push up, short, looking for 180. Now I did get chopped up again at that 180 mark. I think I tried it 2 or 3 more times over here. Especially on this one, because tries to push up. At this point, here's another trend line, goes right to it. You could have shorted that pop. You would have almost nailed the top exactly. 1, 2 points right there. You got enough to make a trend line. As soon as this thing pops up, you think it's going to go strong. You short that top. Boom, right there. It caught that whole move. Now, this one, I didn't catch that one, but as soon as I saw this big candle rejection, I added here. And I added again super low, anticipating, this is the 4th time that this thing tries to go for the 180. So I actually ended up adding on this one around here, like on this green candle up, and on this red candle. As soon as this thing closed, this thing pushed up. I added 500 there. I was in again with 1,500 shares for the break of 180. Literally goes down to 180. I think at this point again, even though I wasn't up $700 at that point, I was up $700 at that point, unrealized. And if this would have broke, I would have easily broken 1K on the day after being down 1K. But anyways, this thing went down, nicked 180 to the penny again, and then reversed on me. And then so I ended up break even on that trade. So I went back to like $400, $300 on the day. The other one that I did catch, because I caught a nice long just now. I guess, I don't know how long I've been recording. 15 minutes? Okay, I was going to say this right here looks about 15 minutes. No, that might be more. I think it's this one. And I'm not sure why I jumped into this trade. I might have done something like this, and even though this was a false breakdown, as soon as this thing reclaimed that one right here, so trend line there, could have looked for the retest, but as soon as this thing started getting above it, I think I took some longs and caught that nice little push. And I think this one already had a bunch of touches here, so I was kind of looking for the breakout. So I think that's what I did. So breakout of this one, retest of this one, and then reclaiming of that one. So I took the long there. I think that's what finally got me like $700 on the day. But maybe if you guys are super big scalpers and you guys like to trade all day, then this is how you guys can do it. This is how I did it today and yesterday, and now I'm locking in $700 today and $800 yesterday. So that's $1,500 in 2 days. From just scalping and making back losses. Technically today I would have made almost 2K in wins if I didn't take the losses, and then same thing yesterday, I would have made almost 2K if I wouldn't have taken the losses. But I'll take it anyways. Over 2K week right now, so I'm happy with that, even though I'm not trading the best in the open. But scalping it's making it back. Anyways, sorry for everybody that asked me if I wanted to keep streaming. There's just no way I'm going to stream all day, because when I'm scalping these, I'm in and out of my room, I'm letting the dogs out, all that stuff. So I'm going to still stream the first 2 hours of market open, and then usually whenever I'm scalping, I'm going to trade it on my own, which doesn't usually happen. It had a little bit of decent volume today, had it yesterday, and was able to get myself back to green. So I was like, okay, let's keep trading, But usually I'm still done within the first 2 hours of market open, so there's really no need for me to get back on to scalp the rest of the day. Luckily I did it yesterday, luckily I did it today, keeping the green all green month, but it's not going to be a usual thing, because I don't even like sitting here until 2 p.m. in the afternoon looking at charts and stocks. Anyways, if you guys like this recap, make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you guys learned something or thought that was pretty cool of how I was able to do it, let me know down below. Let me know how you guys did today, if you guys took advantage of the opening market on Tesla drop or any other stocks. I did have a short today, and I don't think I have. Let me go ahead and find that real quick, because I took a loss on a short today, and it was a decent hit. I don't know where I put it. So it was on EDBL. So on EDBL, I actually ended up shorting this one. I took my first short right here, I added to it right there, and looking for this backside move, and I literally top ticked my exit right there. So I shorted, covered, took the loss, and then this thing, back down in the 350s. Shouldn't have even looked at it. So here is that for you guys, if you guys want to see the actual executions, but that's exactly what it was. So short, stopped out, literally top ticked at my exit, and then faded back on down. So that's a little frustrating there. I think my shorting account is red overall this week, I think, because yesterday was a pretty break-even trade. I don't know if I took any on Monday or Tuesday. I gotta take a look at it. Yesterday was a break-even trade, and then today was a red trade, so it's okay. Anyways, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the live trading session.